because, you know, it might not just be Tommy suing, right? Because again, you know, this is coming up to like the last noted, the last clip, you know, as we actually are pretty much almost on time.
Right. We're doing all right.
So can we trust the media? Can we trust what they're going to say? Should he sue them? Should Donald Trump sue them?
Yes.
Don't forget, we've already had repercussions of Trump's actions against TV stations in America. Or at least TV stations investors have taken action against people like Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Because of the ridiculous stuff that he's been saying, Stephen Colbert, people like that. It's not directly because of Trump. Again, that's complete misnomer. That's nonsense. It's the shareholders that have demanded this happen, and also the carriers. Yeah. Because again, in America, the way network works, you syndicate it out. A lot of the syndicated carriers, their investors said, get him off. He's absolutely toxic. Get rid of him. How did we not know this before? His ratings have been in the toilet for years. They've literally wasted like $16 million a year on this garbage. All right. And the reason I mention this is because we all know how fake the news is. We all know how fake the mainstream is. And I want to take you back because, again, this was another one that, God bless my family. I brought it up. You remember how I told you about I showed my mum a video of Hounslow in the 80s? And she said, that's not what it was like. Yeah. And I think I mentioned again earlier, it's like, we'll tell you the situation's happening in Hounslow. And she's like, no, because I don't experience it. The other one was January 6th. And as I am wont to do, I was watching it live on the ground. I'm finding people who are not the mainstream media, and the guys that are actually there watching Nancy Pelosi's son orchestrating the push through the doors with his little earphones in and his mobile talking to people. Again, this was documented live. Okay, this was actual footage happening on the day. And I watched everything that happened that day. And what would you know it? I had this debate of what did he say? And I said I watched it. And the response was, so did we. We watched him say those horrible things on the news. And I said, no, what you watched was what the BBC told you he said.
As always.
So, well, what do you know? Let's have a look at this last clip that proves, again, I go through this so often. And unfortunately, this is also the point of fighting against these people that are like, it doesn't happen in my area, so it doesn't happen at all. And the BBC News told me, or Channel 4 News told me, or whoever else told me. So it must be true.
Absolutely.
Let's have a little look at this.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you. And we fight. We fight like hell. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
Okay. So you get that, right?
It's ridiculous.
Like that, I mean, like I just said to you, that's
even we wouldn't do that, would we?
Well, actually, to be fair though, as I explained last week, we don't tend to do that. No. We tend to actually explain if there's a major gap in the video. Like most of the times, like we said, it's just me fiddling with the camera, so I just did a minute ago or whatever.
What is happening with the BBC? I think what is being, I mean, Trump's obviously. He's red-faced normal, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he's incandescent.
Well, again, it didn't fit the narrative they were built. And again, you got to remember, this is coming from a corporation that 24 years, 2 months ago, had a woman standing in front of a building that was clearly still standing, saying that the building had collapsed, when said building had never actually been hit by any object that might have been of an incendiary nature. We are, of course, talking about WT7, WTC7. And I watched that live on the day. I watched that woman stand in front of a picture of the World Trade Center 7 still standing, saying that it had collapsed. And I will further that with more information that people may not be aware of. Go back and check if you can find them, because, of course, the web's been scrubbed a lot. That was the exact same angle that was used by multiple news outlets, all at exactly the same time. And I said at the time, hold on, there's like a quantum problem here. How can you have all of these people occupying the same space-time at once? Because you can't possibly have a reporter on Fox News or ABC standing in front of that very window, reporting exactly the same
Yeah.
news at the same time as
Yeah.
BBC reporter stood in front of exactly the same window.
There's a lot of inaccuracies that day. If you go back to that, there's a lot of reports of it falling before it falling. A lot of reports of the second aircraft hitting before it hit.
And it was obviously green screen, is one thing I'll point out. If people can go back, it is still out there, the BBC footage, right, of that particular clip. And look at the footage, especially now, you can really see how green screen
that
it was.
would be I know Hollywood would have that 20 odd years ago, but that was still sort of in its infancy a bit, wasn't it, for that sort of
Well,
that
actually,
sort of setup?
no, chroma keying or luma keying has been around since like the 20s and 30s, man.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's getting more advanced. Whereas
nowadays
you can do it.
Yeah,
pretty
we
much
can do it right now.
seamlessly
Yeah.
And you look at the news channels, and it's literally a green screen, one desk, and not in a big. Sorry, let it down, folks. People at ITN aren't in a massive, great building full of people milling about. It's just some.
Not anymore. Not since they shut down Television Centre and moved out to Manchester Media City, which there may be all sorts of reasons they did that. I don't know, Oldham inquiry. Just saying.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, all their presenters keep on getting arrested for diddling with the kidleys, right? Right? So, like I say, how much can you trust these people?
Can you?
And like I say, why now? Why now are we suddenly getting this? This has been really obvious for a long, long time for anyone that actually watched it as it happened. And anyone with two brain cells to rub together.
Yeah.
So why is this clip suddenly surfacing now? Why is this like, because again, there's narratives being fed here.
Always.
Okay. And I don't know whether Trump is maybe pissing off the wrong people with what we were talking about last week.
Quite
What with the
possibly.
takedown of Cosa Nostra and like the Adelson connection.
Yeah.
We know Bibi and Adelson have their differences in the time, and the good widow Adelson, they clearly do still have some differences now.
Yeah.
It is not in his best interest to be moving the capital to Jerusalem or any of that
Yeah,
business,
no.
right? So, yeah, like I smell yet more rats in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And again, urging caution, people, beware of seeming heroes
Yeah.
that are riding in to rescue us, because it would seem like those heroes are funded, supported, whatever, by the same people who are denying anything to do with Charlie Kirk's assassination, who are potentially funders of Trump himself or detractors of Trump. As you say, like, I don't think Bibi and Trump are getting on very well right now.
No.
The whole peace, what's happened to the peace deal in Israel? It's not even in the news now,
No,
is it? It's
no.
not even in the news
No.
because this has taken
Goes
over.
completely quiet, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I'm sure within the next week we're going to have another whole heap of these things occur. But
Without doubt.
the fact is, something does, like I said last week, there's something fundamentally wrong with Britain today. And action does need to be taken. Like I say though, is it going to be the sort of action where we strike our staff down and say, you shall not pass? We draw that line in the sand and say, here, no further? Or will it end up with our own battle of Bywater?
Good one. What a place to finish.
Hey,
Pretty much.
time remains to see. Yeah, we
Good
go.
time
Not
this
not
evening,
bad
good
at all.
time.
We pretty much spot on.
Yeah.
So there's our collection of conundrums for this week.
Crazy.
It has been a bit of a tough one. Like I say, for me particularly, like some of these clips really hit me, especially because, like I say, I've come out of this.
Yeah.
I've
It's
run
easy
away
to
from
say,
this.
isn't it, from the relative comfort of Cornwall, where nothing much
Again,
really
though,
happens.
it's coming here. Like they say, do not let us be the hobbits back in the Shire while the Fellowship are out trying to save our skins from the greater evil. Do not let us become those hobbits.
Yeah.
Do not let these things insidiously seep in. Again, Morgoth and Saruman and Sauron, these things did not happen overnight, to be sure. They happened over ages. The ages of man was dawning, the age of elves was ending. The analogy is pretty solid.
It is. There's a lot of things in all those books, like I said about Orwell and 84.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff ahead of its time.
Yes.
And I think people ignore these books and ignore these writings at their peril because it's very prescient. It is what is happening now, and you couldn't make it up. They did make it up, and it's
again like people.
Self-fulfilling.
I think the time is coming now for people to really start pulling their socks up and going, you know what, like, because this is one of the things. I think we bred a generation of politically active people that weren't expected to be there. Yeah. Like the government expected the people to eat cake. Yeah. The people to have their circuses and their food.
No, I am
and it will keep them happy.
Surprised and impressed in equal measure of the young.
Yes,
actually,
well, this is the thing.
Beating, but you teach to any of them, they've all got an opinion.
But even our generations, like because we span across a couple, right? I would say there's a lot of the Gen X. Yeah. That I would say they didn't expect to come out this politically charged. Yeah. But again, it's been fueled. Like we mentioned with the MTV thing. Like again, I'll keep on bringing this back. You know, Pascal Twatty idiot face gets up and saying you want your country back. Yeah, you ain't getting it back at Glastonbury. Yeah. Bob Villain. Oh, again, like I say, I know this guy from back in days, like 2006, where he like did the policeman's ball. I think it was the Midlands policeman's ball. Yeah. Lovely kid back then. You know, but you know, like people are like, oh, when did it all become so politically charged? I'm like, go back and watch Rock the Vote. Bloody REM sat there telling you to rock the vote. And particularly climate change is going to destroy the world. Rock the vote, get out and vote Clinton. And things like that. It's always been there. It's just now it's becoming more stark. And like I say, we've ended up with that. Like I don't think they realise what they would unleash with that by now. You know, and now we are seeing a lot more people that are a bit more politically aware.
They've only got themselves to blame. If they hadn't created a complete shit show of a country, it'd still be happily ambivalent, happily bimbling along. If they hadn't busted
but it is by design. It's by design because the people you control are getting disgruntled. The people you control, and also the GDP issue. Like this serves, like I said the other week about Charlie Kirk. These things happen for multiple reasons. It serves multiple purposes. They flood the country with infinity immigrants to give us a false boost to our GDP. But did you see what old thieves knocked off the share price the other day? This is the 22. I'll say billion. Is it? I don't know what it's 22. Is anyone keeping an eye on the finances and the economics? While all of this is going on, we've got an economic disaster unfolding right under our noses, which again, I've been following that. Maybe we should do another episode like just dedicated to the financial collapse that is literally, I mean, bloody Sam Altman and the AI bubble sat there going, when people going, oh, you know what, like, I'm a bit concerned about this bubble. He's like, oh, it's fine. We'll just find someone else to buy your shares. If you want to sell off your stock, that's fine. I don't care. Of course he doesn't care because it's all funded by the US government, just like Tesla, just like SpaceX, just like Elon Musk. Okay, these people have never made a profit. Okay, they're losing money hands over fist. It's all DOD funded. DARPA funded. So, it is battering down this path. People are waking up a bit more. Like I say, I think everyone just needs to take social responsibility in their local area and start really, really holding their councillors to account and their local governments to account. I mean, like we pointed out, that this is the one thing that really, I asked you the question of, like, how come it's you, it's me, it's the girls down the street at the dance class, it's the boys at their Catholic school walking out the gate? How come it's not Keir Starmer? It's not. Don't forget, Theresa May had some lunatic run up to the Houses of Parliament, swinging the blade down. People, what was her name? Leadbeater, not Leadbeater. No, she's one to go, was she? The poor woman that got stabbed in her. Joe thingy. Leadbeater took over, wasn't it? Oh, Joe. I've forgotten her surname. But again, there was a couple. So I'm not saying it doesn't happen, right? But Amos got stabbed. So a couple of them have done, but probably ironically, they were the ones that weren't particularly rocking the boat. Or this is the thing. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it only happens in very certain cases where there's like a real political reason for it. Well, it goes back to the train thing. They're trying to find a link. It's just random people. Again, though, this is the thing. Is it? Because given
Who were the
I was
people
going
that
to say,
were
like, given the
targeted?
situation that's led to a lot of these people being in this country in the first place,
Yeah.
trace back why that is, you'll find it's linked to the US State Department and our foreign policy. It's a foreign policy of the UK and the US,
Yeah.
right? So again, if these people have got problems and grudges and beef, why they're even in this country in the first place, surely they should be taking it out with them, not us. Just in the same way.
That's what they know, though, isn't it?
Just in the same way that no one in their right minds is advising that people go out and start taking direct action against the asylum seekers / immigrants themselves. It's the government that's the problem. It's the police that are the problem. It's the judiciary that are the problem. It's the immigration services that are the problem. And this is where we get this reductive commentary from the media and people like that saying, oh, it's just racists who want to go out and bash a bunch of coloured people.
Yeah.
That is absolutely not what it is in the slightest. And it is, frankly, we are all getting sick.
Lazy.
We are all getting sick and tired of that lazy excuse, man. You've got to stop looking
It's got to wear thin. It's wearing as thin as the Labour Party blaming Tories for the 60 billion black hole they inherited.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to buy a business, mate, check the books.
Yeah. I mean, stop looking at the reflection in the water and dive deep in and find the pebbles at the bottom.
Probably oddly, why was the Tories so crap? Because they were probably trying to fix what Labour cocked up in the 90s.
It's always the excuse, but like actually what it really is them just like blaming each other. It happened to every single government in my lifetime has immediately come in and blamed everything on the previous government and then just said that their entire term was spent clearing up the mess of the previous government. Again, it feeds back into like the Runcorn by-election, and stuff like that. It's all deliberately done this way. Yeah. So I say that it's a struggle, but we absolutely need like a dissolution of Parliament. God, Parliament needs to dissolve it.
If they put up the taxes they're threatening to do at the budget, they've broken their election manifesto.
Yes, I mean, at this point, they've broken so many fundamental aspects of our constitution, let alone anything else, which, again, I strongly advise people go out there and research the Constitution. It is probably going to be super important to us fairly near in the future. We're way beyond. We've crossed the Rubicon far back now. Rubicon's like way out of our distance. We are fast approaching, I say, Mines of Moria stage. The government has plumbed far too deep into this mine, searching for that mythical miffle of boosted GDP, cheap labour, and free voters.
Comes at a cost.
And they are, right now, what we're watching is the Balrog rising across the country. Operation Scatter is undoubtedly happening everywhere. Look at the list of incidents we just rained off tonight. It is happening. So really, like, the best thing that any of us can do is, if you are in these areas that are already affected, just keep your eyes open. Stay safe. Don't take any unnecessary risks. That's obvious. But start mobilising for getting your local... In London, all those Labour strongholds getting the hell out. But not just Labour, like I said, Conservatives are not an alternative, Advance not an alternative. I think people across the UK need to start thinking now, who is going to be the alternative? Because it can't be Tommy. Okay, I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. Look at the links there. Can't be Tommy. No. Okay, it can't be Advance UK. Look at Zia Yusuf and all that. Look at... damn it, his name's just gone off my head. I'll just call him Zia Yusuf. It'll come back to me in a minute, but they're not the way either. So Reform and Zia Yusuf and all that, they're not the way either. They're filling up with ex-Labour, ex-Tories. Again, you'll find all of these parties are actually just filling up with people who've left the mainstream ones. And it's just like a facile changing the... So, I mean... Like, I don't know where else, like, how else that we can,
just be another knee-jerk reaction, won't it? Because also the Labour win was disillusion people in, let's give Tories a bloody nose. Well, let's give them a bloody nose and let's kick them in the living.
Well, again, you've got to stop thinking about like voting tactically, because voting tactically will not work really, because we're in that two-party system.
Unless you get proportional representation.
I mean, like, there's got to be a fundamental change, basically.
You've got to change it, but the powers that be won't let that happen, because then they'll lose power.
And then we're getting close to that. We are getting close to that. I can see that there's something on the horizon.
I think about this driving in. You'll be the same as me. That when you were young, you were just told when you were young, if you get a job, you work hard, you save money, So we both started work when we could. I started work when I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
Never been out of a job, never been unemployed, never was in between jobs. I certainly wouldn't claim benefits, certainly wouldn't go cap in hand for the government.
Yep.
I've been self-employed 20 odd years. And you get to a situation and you get, yeah, okay, it's nice down here. I've got a nice house, got a nice lifestyle down here. You pay for it. It costs money.
Yeah.
It's not for free. And even so, even with all this, you're exactly the same. We're still jammed. We're still just about managing.
Mm-hmm.
We're not.
It's not like
piles of money and
yeah.
property.
Neither of us are wealthy beyond our wildest dreams in any way.
It's just crazy, and that is people, and that is us who are fortunate.
Yes, this is the thing. We've been incredibly lucky. Like I say, I've been working since I was 15.
Yeah,
you know, and as I pointed out to a few people out, you know, there's a few young folk that I work with that I've mentioned before that I'm impressed with their, you know, nous and their motivations these days. And I was relaying to them how different it was back in the mid-90s. You could go get a job at a pub and afford to put a deposit down on a house and start paying it off.
Well, it's typical.
Can't do that now.
You go out with a fiver and come out have a good night. Still 2 quid left for chips at the end of the night.
Absolutely.
Not they cost 2 quid in those days, but still.
Yeah, well, I mean, just proves how old we are, isn't it?
Yeah. Grumpy old men. But we'll return to that subject. It's just sad, though. And you, again, sounding old, you feel sorry for the next generation.
Well, that's the thing, what we leave behind.
They're more savvy. I think there's more better ones than worse ones.
Yes.
You can say about any.
And again, that's what they're trying to do is counteract that weight. They're counteracting that balance of the better ones with infinity bad ones from other countries.
But I'm so impressed. My son's 22 and 23 next year, and I had no idea about politics when I was his age. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I was a child that grew up in the 80s. Like work in the 80s, and times, I mean, cared the interest rates were 14%. I didn't care. I wasn't paying the mortgage back in those days. Parents paid it, they worked, and it was all good because things just were.
Well, this is the thing as well with the degradation of entertainment, video games, media, TV, film, books, radio. It's all utter slop these days.
Yeah.
Again, if they're going to let them have cake, if they're going to supply us with our circuses and food, then make sure the circus is actually entertaining.
Yeah.
Because they've destroyed it so badly. Now we've got a culture growing up who are not interested.
No.
They are actually now interested in.
That'll be next generation.
They're not like looking at Beverly Hills 90210 and going, I aspire to that. Now they're going, mate, I aspire to go to college, to study, to get a practical job that will pay my way to live in my own house with my family without being stabbed 14 times by a random dude from Afghanistan who may or may not have sexually assaulted a donkey.
Yeah.
Because there was one note that I almost missed. You mentioned the donkeys, right?
Yeah.
In Watchfield, 175 Afghans were shipped in overnight.
Yeah.
Much like we saw being shipped into the hotel that was formerly where I had my wedding reception, right? We watched that happen. Well, in this poor town, one of them was picked up for sexually assaulting a donkey.
Yeah. That just says all you need to say.
But no, it's a complete coincidence. It's a complete coincidence 175 Afghans happened to be moved in there.
Saying that, if you do read the Cornish paper, there is quite a lot of bestiality down here, not restricted to foreign people either.
No.
There's quite a lot of nonsense that goes on there. We'll cover that another week. Maybe
Probably. Well, I mean, depending algorithmically how nuked we get, but I mean, at this point, this is the thing. We're just going to say like things and get nuked by the algorithm because it needs to be said, man. People need to discuss it. Again, discussion's the most important thing. Yeah, the more we talk, the better things will get.